Hee Jin, the creative force behind NewJeans and often a source of controversy, has now announced she's parting ways with HYBE, a move that has sent shock waves through the entire K-pop industry. The trouble began earlier this year when HYBE, which owns the Adore label where Min and served as CEO, conducted what she later described as an illegal audit of the company. Things got even more serious when HYBE went on to accuse her of attempting to take control of Adore by selling shares and leaking confidential information. According to HYBE, they had physical evidence of her alleged plans to take over management, although these claims were vague and the details were never made public. After the accusation, fans and NewJeans were left to take HYBE at its word, which many were reluctant to do. However, Min and Hee Jin had her own version of the events. She claimed the audit was retaliation for the whistleblowing she had done regarding some serious misconduct within HYBE. According to her, she had sent 2 internal emails in April outlining her concerns about unethical practices in the company. Instead of addressing these issues, HYBE reportedly responded with a corporate witch hunt aimed at discrediting her. However, she didn't just clash with HYBE over the leadership. Other creative disputes also fueled the fire further. In fact, one of the biggest issues came when she accused Lift Lab, another high-boned label, of copying NewJeans' unique style to create their girl group Islet. In her own words, Hee Jin called out the irony of NewJeans' success being undermined by the very company that should have been supporting them, which only further deepened the rift between Min and HYBE. As HYBE heavily disagreed with her narrative, things only became more dramatic when NewJeans themselves suddenly entered the feud. The members shocked fans by issuing their own legal notice to Adore on November 13, where they demanded that Min and Jin be reinstated as CEO within 14 days, even threatening to terminate their contracts if this wasn't done. The notice revealed just how deeply the group was intertwined with its CEO, as fans were forced to accept the fact that NewJeans might not proceed as a group without Min. The members of NewJeans didn't hesitate to be firm in their statement, as they called for Adore to bring Adore back to the time when NewJeans happily worked with Min until March 2024, and expressed their dissatisfaction with the label's current direction. They even credited the group's entire creative direction to her, saying, "We missed the NewJeans that was excited about creating new creative music and performances with her." This bold move by NewJeans suddenly placed immense pressure on HYBE, as the group is Adore's main source of revenue, and if they follow through on their ultimatum, which they had set for November 27, Adore could face serious financial consequences. While some fans admired NewJeans for taking such a strong stand, their involvement raised question about what might happen if they ultimately left Adore. NewJeans have pointed out that even if the group were to follow Min to a new company, they wouldn't be able to take their name, songs, or branding with them, as those assets are owned by HYBE. In essence, the members would have to start from scratch, something that could turn out to be incredibly risky even for one of K-pop's most popular groups. Moreover, terminating their contracts could lead to financial difficulties for the members, as this act often involves hefty penalties which might leave the group with a significant debt. Things only became more complicated aided when Min suddenly changed everything with her newly announced resignation letter. Fans are now wondering what this could mean for NewJeans going forward, as she essentially threw in the towel. The letter claimed that she had done everything she could to keep the shareholder agreement and eventually return Adore to what it had been before everything started, and she blamed HYBE for being the one to show no sign of changing. For her, staying with HYBE had become impossible, as she even claimed that HYBE's actions these years will go down in history as one of the biggest mistakes in K-pop. She explained that things got significantly more heated when HYBE first took action to sideline her completely back in August, as she was removed as CEO of Adore and replaced by Kim Jong-hye. Offered her the chance to stay on as a producer for NewJeans, but she rejected the proposal, calling the terms of the contract unreasonable in a further attempt to undermine her authority. In fact, HYBE's offer felt like a further insult to her, feeling cornered. Min and Hee Jin ended up taking the legal route as she sought reinstatement as Adore CEO. However, her case was dismissed by the Seoul Central District Court, which ruled that there was insufficient evidence regarding the rights to be protected while she remained a board member. Her power and influence within the company were significantly reduced, as she felt everything that she had worked hard for suddenly slipped between her fingers. In her resignation letter, she expressed the heavy toll this situation had taken on her, but also shared her relief and pride in knowing her whistleblowing was backed by undeniable facts. She then accused HYBE of completely ignoring her wishes to try and solve the problem, as the company simply doubled down with ignorant and irrational attacks. However, despite the setbacks, Min refused to back down, as her letter seemed to hint at bigger plans for the future. She wrote, "There must be a reason and meaning for people like me to exist in the world. I hope you will pay much attention to my new K-pop journey that I will unfold in the future." Her resignation letter came as a shock to fans and industry insiders, not only because of the bold move to completely remove herself but also because of Nene's involvement after publicly siding with her. Fans are now worried what this might mean for the group, since it sounds like she just up and left the girls to figure things out on their own. By quitting, Min and Jin gave up any professional ties she had to the group and undermine New's threat to the company of resigning, since HYBE has no way of reinstating Min. In reacting to the news, many fans couldn't help but be taken aback by the lack of consideration towards the group, as they left comments saying, "Personally, I think she made the situation more complicated for NewJeans by leaving like that, and well, what are the girls going to do? She just left them behind. This certainly isn't a good look for her at the moment, especially since many see this as her betraying the girls who put everything on the line to defend her. Ultimately, it only seems to have turned more people against her, as Nissen are further questioning her morals. However, by laying everything down on the table, others are also theorizing that Min Jin might have just pulled a very strategic move, which might be part of a bigger plan to get the girls out of the company. One popular idea that has been swirling online is that she's planning to start her own company. Nissen speculate that her next move might be to free the members from HYBE, to not just help the girls escape the sticky situation but also to save her biggest achievement to date. In fact, there are even rumors going around that outdoor employees are planning to resign en masse and join Min. And going further, while the idea of her starting a new company sounds to be her best shot at coming out of this successfully, many are questioning exactly how doable this is, considering the potential challenges. Fans are especially afraid that by doing this she might financially ruin the girls if they were to leave their contracts, ultimately saddling them with an unpayable debt. This is based on more than just speculations, as it's very clear to everyone what would happen if NewJeans were to leave, considering how much money has been invested into them by HYBE and their vendetta against Min Janine. However, some are speculating that it won't be impossible for her to find investors who are willing to help NewJeans become what they are destined to be. Despite this, if the case unfolds as expected, it's highly doubtful she could significantly reduce what the girls might still owe HYBE by switching companies. It's not only the behind the scenes investments that would be put at risk, but also the payout the group might receive if they continue to work in the industry. It's no secret that being under one of the big four companies brings in more money, and having a different management might ultimately put them at an even bigger disadvantage despite their history. Another big concern that fans have is whether or not Min would even be able to find investors who are willing to risk their reputation by actually signing on to invest in her, since Min Jin has become HYBE's biggest enemy this past year. Getting involved with her might have serious consequences, as nobody really knows what HYBE could do is revenge, while many might be willing to silently support her stepping forward and declaring that they are willing to back up her actions, might be a step too far for most investors, especially since it might be dangerous to align oneself with someone who is now known to cause trouble. Even NewJeans' potential success is something that some NTIC are questioning. While the girls are the same people as they were under HYBE, their image would have to be drastically different in order to avoid serious trouble by changing up everything that made the group so popular. Many are worried whether they would be able to pull in even half as much attention as they do under their current concept, but that's not to say that there's no chance of them succeeding, since Min Jin was able to put together a creative vision that appealed to so many people once before. It's entirely possible that she could do it again, especially if she's feeling spiteful enough. Ultimately, New's future seems to be entirely in Min Jin's hands. The members are unfortunately dependent on her next move, as they have now been left completely exposed without her by their side. Whether or not that means Min Jin is actually plotting to start her own company and risk starting from scratch is something we'll just have to wait and see.